When you take trades, it doesn't necessarily go right all the time. And sometimes you have trades going the wrong way, you have trades going against you. And so the question is, what should you do with this type of losing trades? Should you just take your loss and move on? Or is there anything else that you could do? Well, in this video, I wanted to basically show you what I do, what I tend to do when I have losing trades. I'm going to show you right now in the Tastyworks platform, what do I do when I have a losing trades? What is my thought process when it comes to what we call rolling a trade? And if you don't know what rolling a trade is, then great, because that's what I'm going to explain in this video. So really this video is about showing you and trying to be transparent also, because obviously what you see on, internet, Google, YouTube, whatever it is, like you're going to see people trading and they obviously show you their wins because they want you to think that they obviously win all the time, but you also have losses that are going to happen, and there are ways you can manage those losses, and that's what I want to show in this video. But before we dive into actually how I manage losing trades, if you find that interesting and you actually like this type of videos, then I really encourage you to like this video and subscribe to my channel, and let me know in the comment section that that's this type of videos that you actually want to watch. I want to document what I'm doing and show you not only the good sides but also the bad side, so you can have an objective picture of what trading options actually is. So as I said, if you appreciate this type of videos, then don't hesitate to like and subscribe to my channel. That's really the best support you can give me, and that also lets me know after in my analytics that you appreciate this type of videos. So let me jump into my broker Tastyworks to show you what is going on with my losing trades. So right now we are in my portfolio of options, so you can see that I have around 6 positions on. I have 6 positions on, and I have a couple of them that are actually losing trades. So the ones that we're actually going to focus right now, the two most important positions that we're going to focus on is Under Armour, is the position that I have on Under Armour, and Wells Fargo. So to give you a bit of a summary, let's look at each position and which trade I actually took on Under Armour and Wells Fargo. If we look at Under Armour, first of all, you see that I have basically sold what we call a put credit spread. So I have sold a put, as you can see, at the 22.5 strike, and I bought a put, as you can see above, at the 17.5 strike. And basically that's what we call a put credit spread. And if you don't know what a put credit spread is, you can basically just look into Google and you're gonna see this graph, and that basically means that you are bullish on the stock, meaning that if, for example, Under Armour stays above 22.5, then I'm basically going to make a profit at expiration, and that's basically what the blue line is. That's the 22.5 strike. And if the stock stays above that line at expiration, then I'm going to make a profit. However, you can see that it's under that line right now. It's under the 22.5 strike. And the reason for that is that I think I sold my credit spread, my put credit spread, on the 1st of June or 2nd of June, literally at the high. I literally sold at the highest possible, and then Under Armour dropped. So that's basically the situation. I sold a put credit spread, the put credit spread didn't work out, the stock Under Armour fell, and now I'm in a loss. And as you can see, it's not a very big loss whatsoever. It's $78 loss, so it's not bad. But the question is still, what do we do now? You could either take your loss and just, taking your loss, close your trade and move on, and you just take another trade and that's it, you just took a loss. Or you could take your loss, but sell another put credit spread on Under Armour in a later expiration. And that's what we call rolling a trade. And you must have heard about rolling trades before. That's a concept that has been a lot popularized by Tastytrade, and usually there's quite a lot of misconceptions around what rolling actually means. When you roll, the philosophy behind it is that you're basically saying, all right, I sold, for example, in our case of Under Armour, I sold a put credit spread for the July 16 expiration. It didn't work out. However, I'm going to, yes, take my loss, but sell a new put credit spread, let's say in August expiration, 1 month later. And I bet that that trade is going to work out. And that's basically the philosophy behind rolling a trade. You bet that you're going to be right the next time. So it implies that you still believe that the stock could actually go in your favor. And that's very, very important to understand that, because rolling is not going to solve all your problems, with the magic wand. It's only giving you more time to be right. What would that be if you actually want to roll the trade on Under Armour? What if I actually want to roll my trade from the July 16 expiration to the August expiration? Well, in that case, what you do, if you are in Tastyworks, if you're using Tastyworks, I don't know really how it works for the other brokers, but if you use Tastyworks, you go into the platform, you go into your option portfolio, you look at the 2 legs, you click on it, now they become like gray because you selected them, then you click right, roll expiration, And that basically gives you several expiration. You see that there are dates like 23rd of July, 30th of July, 20th of August, 17th of September. So which one should you choose? Well, usually personally, and there's not really like a perfect way of doing it. I mean, I think at least, personally what I do is that I always roll for the next cycle. And the next cycle is basically the next month, that's what I mean. So if we are in the July expiration, my trade is expiring in July, then I'm going to roll my trade for August. So in our case, I would go, for example, for the August expiration that expires in 58 days. If you click on it, then it brings you basically to the August expiration. And there are several things to understand here so you can fully understand what rolling is. We're basically going to do two trades here. We're going to take our loss in the July expiration. So as you can see down below, you're going to have those sell to close and buy to close. We're basically just closing our position in the July expiration. So we are taking a loss. And that's very important to understand that we are actually taking a loss here. We are actually closing our position, because usually what people understand by rolling is that you're not really taking a loss. You're just trying to whatever you're trying to do, but you are actually taking a loss. So you see that we are taking our loss in the July expiration, we're closing our position, and we're opening a new put credit spread in the August expiration at the same strikes. And we are doing that whole transaction for 39 cents of credit. You can see that there is written 39 and there is credit here, that because you're rolling for a credit of 39 cents. And ideally, when you roll a trade, when you roll a credit spread, for example, you always want to roll for credit. And rolling for a credit essentially means that the new trade that you're going to set is going to have a bigger max profit and a smaller max loss. Compared to if you roll for debit, then your trade is going to have a smaller max profit and a bigger max loss. So ideally, you don't necessarily want to roll paying a debit for rolling. You ideally want to collect a credit when you're rolling. And I know it sounds complicated, but wait a second, I'm going to show you exactly what that means, rolling for a credit. So if we look here, you see that my new trade has a max profit of $136 and a max loss of $364. And to make you fully understand what rolling for a credit means, let me show you what is my current position and what will be my next position if I decide to roll my trade. My current max profit on the trade that I have on Under Armour right now is of $101 max profit, and my max loss is of around $400. So for the sake of the example, let's just say I have a max profit of $100 and a max loss of $400 on my trade right now on Under Armour. If I decide to roll that trade, and if I decide to close my current position in the July expiration and roll my trade to the August expiration, as you can see, then my new max profit on that new trade in the August expiration is going to have a max profit of $137 and a max loss of $363. So you can see now, if we compare the two trades, my July trade with a max profit of $100 and a max loss of $400. And you can see that my new trade in August has a max profit of $137 and it has a max loss of $363. Well, you can see that by rolling for a credit of 37 cents, that allows me to increase my max profit of my new trade in the August expiration and reduce my max loss for my new trade. And that's what rolling for a credit is actually. And that's not really complicated. That just means that if you roll for a credit, you're going to set up a new trade that is going to have a bigger max profit compared to your previous trade, and is going to have a smaller max loss. And that's why it's preferable to roll for a credit, because if you roll for a debit, the new trade that you're going to put on is going to have a smaller max profit and a bigger max loss, which is really not ideal. So you see that ideally, if you can try to roll for a credit, and usually credit spreads are going to be a bit harder to roll if you have a very tight width of the strike. And that's why I personally like to also go for very wide credit spreads. So now that we understand why rolling for a credit is important, should I actually take that trade on Under Armour, and should I roll my trade to the August expiration? And usually what I like to do, and that's completely me being transparent here, I really want to be honest here, usually when I give myself a bit more time on my losing trades, they usually come back in my favor. And of course, we could always hear about the stories like, the trade never comes back, or, you have a crash and you just have losses after losses. But of course, that could happen, and I'm absolutely not denying this. But usually, when I roll my trades and I just give myself, 1, 2, 3 months, and, even if it takes me 6 months for the trade to come back, usually it tends to come back. In our case on Under Armour, for example, let's say that if the stock was continuing to fall, let's say it falls to $10. Well, of course here I would be probably in a max loss and I would have had even several losses because of course when you roll, you're going to set up a new trade. And that new trade, nothing says that it couldn't also go into a loss. And that's why rolling for credit is also so important because you don't want to, have losses over losses, or at least losses over bigger losses. And that's why at least if you roll for credit, the max loss of your new trade will be smaller than the one from your previous trade. So if it again goes against you, well, at least you won't lose as much money as you lost on the first trade. And that's why rolling for credit is important. And I know that it's quite complicated when you hear it like this, but trust me, I mean, if you just do it once or twice, then you really get used to it and you start understanding the ins and outs of actually rolling a trade. So usually my philosophy is to always roll the trade, to at least try for 1 or 2 months or 3 months to try to see if it comes back in my favor. So far in 2021, for example, it hasn't happened that I had to roll my trade more than 3 months. Usually when I roll my trades over 2021, for example, it only took 2 or 3 months to actually see the trade coming back in my favor, and it happened every single time so far. And that's funny because I say that and tomorrow you're going to see me with the trade going over and over in a loss and I'm going to have a huge running loss, but so far so good. So in our case of Under Armour, now that I have talked enough about how to roll a trade, why it's important to roll for credit, what am I going to do with it? Well, I'm actually going to roll it for the August expiration. So I'm going to actually fill in the trade right now as I'm recording. So as I said, I'm going to roll it for the August expiration. I'm going to collect a credit of 35 cents, which would make a new trade that is expiring in the August expiration with a profit of $136 and a max loss of $364. So if I try to click send, and we're going to send order. So you see that now my order on Under Armour is actually working. It's waiting to be filled. So usually I have zero patience waiting for my trades to be filled. I know I should let them maybe a bit, waiting to see if it's going to be filled. Like personally, I have a terrible patience waiting for my trades to be filled. I completely take responsibility for that. I usually am going to try to modify my trade so as to adjust the mid price, and adjusting the mid price basically means that you're going to set up your trade overall. For example, in our case of rolling for credit, I'm going to want less credit to roll my trade so it actually gets filled faster. And of course, nothing tells me that if I was waiting, let's say 3 hours, it wouldn't get filled, or maybe it would get filled. I just like to have my trades get filled and just move on to the next one. So in our case, if I move, let's say, my mid price to collect only 32 cents credit compared to before 35 cents, is it going to work? Still not working, as you can see. So usually what I do is I'm going to do it again. Instead of collecting 35 cents, let's say that I do it at 30 cents. Is it going to work? Still nothing. And that's also why liquidity is also important. And know that right now, I've actually chosen liquid strikes pretty much all the time. And that's a very good example actually of why liquidity is important. Because if you don't have liquidity, then you're not going to be able to actually roll your trade because no one is going to be willing to take the other side. And the liquidity, you can check it by looking at the open interest, you can look at the bid ask, you can look at the volume, but always make sure that you have liquidity before entering your trades. Otherwise, if you find yourself in this type of situation, it might be very hard to roll your trades. So once again, it doesn't work for 30 cents. So let's look at 28 cents to see if it's going to get filled. So right now my trade got filled on Under Armour, and now I actually roll my trade from the July expiration to the August expiration. So what we can see now in my option portfolio is that I have a put credit spread expiring in the August expiration. So now I actually have rolled my trades. So now that we understand what I've been doing, rolling a trade from the July to the August for credit and why it's important, now let's go a bit quicker and let's look at my Wells Fargo trade that also went wrong. So on Wells Fargo, I have sold a put credit spread, and as you can see, I'm in a $65 loss on that trade. It's not terrible, but it is what it is. It is a losing trade. Once again, exactly like Under Armour, I'm going to roll my trade from the July to the August expiration and hope basically for the August expiration that is going to come back in my favor. And once again here, I'm going to roll for credit. So if I click once again on the two legs, I click right, roll expiration, I can see that I can roll my trade for the August expiration for 54 cents of credit. So as you can see, it's going to set up once again a new trade, and my new trade has a max profit of $168 and a max loss of $582. So once again, I'm going to fill my trade right now at the mid price to collect 54 cents, even though I think that it's not going to go through because of liquidity, but let's check at least. So let me review and let me send that. So it didn't fill directly. So let me just adjust the mid price. So I'm going to decrease a bit, let's say by 2 cents. It should be filled right now. Actually, no, not yet. So let me just again decrease that, let's say to 51 cents. So now my trade on Wells Fargo got filled and I roll my trade from the July to the August expiration. And here it is. So that's basically what rolling is. So those two trades, I thought it was a good example of, what is rolling, why I do what I do. And I thought it was maybe interesting for some of you to actually see what rolling a trade is and how it works actually in real life. So maybe it's helpful for some of you if you also have losing trades on Wells Fargo and on Under Armour. I hope it was useful and it brought you some value to at least see how does that work in terms of rolling and what are the things that you need to pay attention to. For example, why it's so important to roll for credit and not rolling for a debit, why it's important to not pay a debit but to collect a credit when you roll. If you have any questions, I'd really be happy to answer any questions that you might have. So don't hesitate to just comment your question down below in the comment section and I'll be happy to answer any question that you might have. Please make good and informed decisions. I'll see you in the next video and in the meantime, I wish you all the best.